1, 2, 3, 4, 5, please? 5, please? 6, just barely. New personal best! Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons. Today's the 14th day of VEDA because it's the 14th of April, and unless I'm quite mistaken, it is a Thursday, which means it's time for my second top 5 of this month, and I fully appreciate that if I'm not doing something that promotes my other channel, then who gives a shit about my top 5s of anything, but this is a format that I've created and I'm sticking to it, although don't misunderstand, I didn't invent the concept of the top 5, but I mean, I said I was gonna do top 5s on this channel as part of VEDA, and that's what I'm doing, alongside rambling unnecessarily and incessantly. Anyway, I spent some time thinking, okay, what top 5s could I get away with doing that people might give a slight shit about? Because, as I said, last week's top 5 was kind of incidentally promoting my other channel, and so people, given that there was already an interest in my other channel, there was some interest in me doing a top 5 pertinent to it. So, what could I do for subsequent weeks that people are likely to care about? Because who gives a shit what my top 5 fruits and vegetables are? You know, that sort of idea. And for this week, I came up with my own personal top 5 games that I have Let's Played. So, instead of promoting my other channel, I'm promoting this channel, which you're already watching. Now, I've mentioned in the past that my intention as a YouTuber is to be a Let's Player who also does Eurovision, or an equal balance of both, rather than a Eurovision reviewer who also does video games. I want to either, not put all my focus into video games, but I want to be a part of the Let's Playing community at least as much as I am a Eurovision community person. So, I'll promote games that I have played, although one rule that I came up with for this list. Okay, first of all, this is not counting versuses or games that I've done against other people. Those aren't included on this list. Just games that I personally solo have LP'd or Let's Played. So the only other rule is I have to have finished the game. So Another Code R and Master Quest would be on this list, but I've not finished them yet, so I'm not counting those. But apart from that, any game that I've Let's Played is fair game, and this was difficult to decide, but I'm judging about 80% on how much I enjoy the game, and about 20% how much I like the actual finished Let's Play, because this is mostly just about promoting the games and saying, by the way, I played through it, rather than just saying, oh, look at my Let's Plays. Because my intention here is to promote the games. Anyway, enough waffle, let's commence the list. In 5th place, out of all the games that I've ever completed a Let's Play of, Jazzpunk. It's available on Steam, it might be on other platforms as well, but it's definitely on Steam because that's how I played it. Now, I really like Jazzpunk just as a concept because they've taken an idea for a genre and the title of the game has become the name of that genre. I can't think of any word other than Jazzpunk to summarize the genre of that game because it's like 50s, 60s spy film, Cold War, Soviet, parallel universe, retro-futuristic. It's crazy and I love it. The only qualms I have about the game is that it really feels like they developed the first area, the first chapter of the game, the Soviet consulate area. They developed that first and foremost. And then, that was their tech demo, that was their proof of concept. And then they made a load of other levels, but they didn't flesh them out to anywhere near as much of a degree. The whole purpose of the game is to be sidetracked by all the side stuff and little, achievements are one thing and little side conversations and side jokes and all that stuff. The idea is you have a story, but you can go through it at your own pace because there's a load of other side stuff to distract you, and that's a really interesting design ethos. But as I've said, the Soviet consulate area has about half of all of these side things in the entire game. It's so rich and detailed, and then the later areas follow the same principles. They have the same kind of story, the same tone to them, but they have nowhere near as many side things, and so if you get through the first chapter really quickly, then the rest of the game will just flash by because there's nowhere near as much stuff. I think the apartment chapter toward, at the end, that that's a close second in terms of amount of content. I want them to do another game like this. Maybe a Jazzpunk 2, maybe something in the same, maybe a spiritual successor instead, because I like the concept. I like the setting, the genre. I like their style of humor. I like the design ethos of the game. And it was fun to Let's Play, even though the last part, it was a short series, about 9 episodes, I think, and the last episode of that series did take several hours and many gigabytes of footage to record and ages to edit, and we ended up with a half-hour montage of every last achievement in the game, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that, because that took a lot of work to showcase every last little thing. But I think that's the most comprehensive video I've ever done. Also, bonus points to this particular LP because it contained the soup song. Soup, a tasty soup, a spicy carrot and coriander, a chili chowder, crouton, crunchy friends and liquid broth, I am gazpacho, oh, I am a summer soup, oh, miso, fighting in the dojo, miso, Oriental Prince in the land of soup. In 4th place on this list, let's make some enemies. Undertale. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't my first favourite game that I've played, it's not my first favourite Let's Play, but it was a lot of fun. Now, I intend to talk about Undertale at greater length at some other point in the future. As a game, yeah, I understand its social significance, and I enjoyed Let's Playing it, and I do concede, by having not done the merciless path of the game, that is about half the game that I'm missing out on, maybe a little bit less, because from what I'm still avoiding spoilers for that, by the way, but for the merciless one of the game, I've heard that it's essentially a completely different game. So, I'm looking forward to doing that at some point, but that's gonna have to wait. I do plan on Let's Playing the merciless one of it, but for the sake of argument, I'll specify Pacifist Undertale. It was enjoyable, and maybe the Let's Play was the friends we made along the way. It was certainly an experience. It wasn't intentionally a clickbaity day 1 LP kind of thing. It just so happened that I needed to start a new Let's Play on the day that the game came out, and I had already said prior to that I would Let's Play the game anyway, and that had nothing to do with its critical reception, because I knew people, well, I didn't know that people were crazy about it and that they'd become as crazy about it as they currently are. I just thought, oh, this looks like an indie title that I might enjoy, so I'll Let's Play this at some point. And then it was released, and then I bought it, and I Let's Played it. It just so happened that either the day of or the day after its release happened to be the day that I needed part 1 of a new LP. It was originally going to be Wario Land 4, but then Undertale happened, and I thought, well, day 1 LP, except I think I recorded it on the day of its release and uploaded it the day after just so it would fit with my schedule, but there you go. And towards the end, when I did the pacifist ending, that was immense fun having the voice actors in for that, because, I mean, for one, I got Tristan Black Wolf, Tristan McAvery, whichever name he would prefer for me to refer to him as in the voice acting context. I got the voice of Gendo Ikari from Neon Genesis Evangelion to voice Asgore. How cool is that?
What's an anime?
Oh dear. And also, a load of other really talented people doing voiceover for it. I intend to bring them back for when I do the merciless run of the game, but I've yet to ask them formally about this. So, if you're one of the people who voice acted in my Undertale finale, then consider yourself formally asked, would you like to reprise your role when I go back and do the merciless run of the game? And for one, I had Walking Melons be the voice of Dr. Alphys, and shortly after that LP, she got huge on YouTube because of an animation she did, well, an animatic that she did, and I kind of have a little bit of hipster feeling going on because I was friends with her before she was cool. Well, I say friends. I would like to be friends with her, but I understand she doesn't have time, and also we've hardly talked apart from the Undertale stuff, so, I mean, we have Undertale and Steven Universe in common, so Walking Melons, if you're watching this, want to be friends? Third on this list, and I've just realised that the top 3 actually have a common thread, but I'll address that in a moment. But third on this list is Honeypot. Chosen by fan poll at the end of VEDA of last year. This took up basically my summer and the first part of my autumn of 2015. And it was fun. It was, I reiterate, I was not in that game for the sex or the weirdness or the graphics. I just played it because it's a legitimately fun, strategy-heavy, essentially puzzle game. 'Cause it's got the match 3 aspect, which is done in a completely different way from the standard bejeweled match 3 format. And there are elements of dating sim in there, but the dating sim aspects have their own level of strategy. It's, in every sense, a beautifully composed game. And I know it's difficult for me to look someone in the eye and for them to believe me when I say, I'm in it for the gameplay, not the graphics. Because they're like, yeah, you're a male gamer, of course you're in it for the... But no, sincerely, I really enjoyed the gameplay, and it was immense fun to play through. I did have Europe8 co-commentate an episode of that, and that was fun. And then I had both her and Austin on Sugar to do an analysis video at the end of the project as well, which again was immense fun. Laura, does this game offend you?
No.
There you go, case closed.
Achievement unlocked. There we go.
Basically, everything about that project was just fun. It's a fun game. It was a fun time trying to record it, although I did eventually manage to smoothen out the frame rate by the end of the project. But it was good fun with good friends, chosen by the lovely people who watch my videos anyway. Yes, there were weird moments. Yes, I did start censoring boobs with potatoes, but, I mean, that's a Tess thing, and I enjoyed it. I had immense fun with it, and if they were to make another game like it, then I would consider LPing it. That's no comment on Honeycam Studio, by the way. The jury's still out on what's happening with that one. Or are they? Good lord! Okay! Coming in second on this list is Annodyne, and I've just realised that all 4 of the games so far are available predominantly on Steam, although Honeypot is definitely available on other platforms. Jazzpunk I don't know. Undertale I think is available on other media, and Annodyne is definitely available on Steam, on Desura if anyone uses that. Never even heard of it, honestly. And also as a standalone thing. And funny enough, in a similar vein to Honeypot, the team behind Annodyne, the 2 people who made Annodyne, are releasing another game in the very near future. I mentioned it in the LP of Annodyne as well, but they're releasing a new game called Even the Ocean, which is going to be available within the next month or so, I think. I will be Let's Playing that, because, I mean, Annodyne is a beautiful game. It's faux retro, I think it's got 16-bit graphics, or made to look like 16-bit. But the soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. The environments, even though it's top-down Zelda 1-esque, it's gorgeous and immersive and atmospheric, and I have a lot of good memories associated with the game, and also the Green Cube. As a project, I believe it's the only LP to date for which I've actually done a conscious, this is for the LP practice run beforehand. Because as a game, I saw 2 LPs of it prior to getting it, and then some years later, I bought it on Steam, and then played it, and then LP'd it the following January, and that was January of last year, and it was so much fun to do because, as I said, loads of good memories with the game, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's immersive, and I got an analysis video with Austin at the end of the project as well, and that was, again, really deep and immersive, and we thought a lot of thoughts about a lot of things, and it was so much fun. The Red Caves, this inevitability of being born, or having to do something that will cause hurt to others, but, in this metaphor, being born kills the mother, when in actuality, and granted, it's a bit more than a minor inconvenience, but this upscaling of... I have considered doing a stream of the game to replay it, to promote, hey, Even the Ocean is going to be a thing soon, but I kind of don't want to reset my save file because I've already got the Green Cube twice, once my practice run, once in the LP. I kind of don't feel like sitting around for several hours waiting to get the Green Cube again, and that's the only thing stopping me from streaming it, but it is an immensely fun, atmospheric, deep, emotional, and for me, very personal game, so that was a good LP. And again, if they make another one like that, I look forward to LPing it. But for the moment they're working on Even the Ocean, and that's fine because that looks like a good game as well. Now, first place on this list, of course the entire list is subject to change because I'm gonna keep LPing games, and I may get some new favourites in the end, but for the moment, my number 1 favourite LP that I've done is Klonoa Door to Phantom Isle for the Wii, originally for the PlayStation 1, but I did the Wii remake, the Wii-make, if you will. Most of what I said about Annodyne applies to this one as well, in that okay, the Wii version is a little bit more child-friendly and soft-handed with its approach, because the PS1 version was much more gritty in terms of, well, not much more gritty, but the PS1 version was less designed to be a child-friendly experience, and I'm very much aware that the Wii remake is kind of a a budget kind of studio, okay, we're gonna remake a game because it'll sell and make money, and perhaps the remake team weren't quite as invested in the original product as the original team who made it for the first time were, but as a game, either version still means a lot to me. As I've said before, it is one of the 2 media that have ever made me cry. The ending of that game as a child brought me to tears. I was deeply moved by the ending of that game. And so it has always held a very special place in my heart, and my LP of it, I want to say, did it justice. I still stand by what I said in that project. I do at some point intend to work out how to stream with the Elgato. I might try some stuff out with that at some point. I do intend to go back and stream myself trying to 100% perfectly complete the game, but I don't know when that'll be. But I love doing that game. I love the whole tongue-in-cheek F-bomb counter at the end of, when I was getting towards, when I was doing Vision 6-2, because I swore a lot. And, fair enough, because that game has one hell of a difficulty curve, but it was immense fun to play through, and, once again, this is the common thread with the top 3, I got a deep analysis video out the other end of it, with Austin on Sugar, and we thought thoughts, and it was deep, and I want to think that I've done that game the justice it deserves, because I know Cadicarus did a review of the PlayStation 1 version at some point, and he went into it saying, oh, this looks like a kid-friendly game, oh, it's gonna be really bad, and then, oh my god, it's actually adorable and beautiful and has incredible music, and oh my god, it's actually brilliant. And I'd like to think that I did it the same level of justice, because I feel like a lot of people would just gloss over it as a game, because, it's this adorable cat rabbit and his little wind spirit friend who is basically a smiley face who lives inside a ring, travelling the world and doing cutesy animal stuff. Oh, and his grandfather dies halfway through, spoilers. Takes a bit of a dark twist towards the end, but overall, I had immense fun playing it, I had immense fun let's playing it, it has a deep personal place in my heart, in my childhood, in my soul, and also it has incredible music, especially towards the end of the game. Like, I'm trying, I want to say every level from X onwards, but the more I think about it, no. The entire game has an incredible soundtrack. The visuals, okay, the Wii version is a little bit cutesified, but overall, I think it's not that bad, and honestly, I recommend every game that I've LP'd, otherwise I wouldn't play them, but I think, to date, that's my most favourite LP that I've ever done. Yay. Oh, it wraps back around like a loopy-poo. A loopy-poo! A loopy-poo! Now, as you have noticed, I put links to the playlists of all those LPs on the screen as I was talking about them. I would put links in the video description as well, but I kind of don't want to spoil the contents of this top 5 for anyone who's reading the description before watching the video, so that's my hesitation there. But you could just go onto my channel, click the playlists tab if YouTube still has that by the time you watch this video, because YouTube's constantly changing, and then just have a look for the LP playlists that match up with the titles that I've been talking about. It's really quite straightforward. And as a hobby, as a pastime, as a thing that I do, I really enjoy doing it, because I made so many memories, and I have even more reason to love these games that I already loved. Apart from Undertale, which I went into blind, so I didn't already love it, but the point is, I do this stuff for fun, and fun is had, and good times, and memories are made, and stuff. And also, I'd like to think that LPing as a thing has helped me develop as a person. But that's me getting weird and personal and emotional, so I will say I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and I will see you in whichever video of mine you happen to choose to watch next, which may or may not be one of those 5 LPs, just throwing that idea out there. Anyway, see you whenever.